Welcome back to a podcast you can't resist. I'm Kyle. And we are going over the final episode of The Offer. And sorry for not doing the podcast the last few episodes, but there haven't really been that many Easter eggs. It's been pretty straightforward since the first few, and especially since Columbo getting shot. There haven't been as many fun Easter eggs to play with and talk about in the series, and I didn't want to do just strictly a review until the series itself was finally over. So now that the series is at its final episode, we can kind of go back and take it all in as a whole, and I love all of the production design, the research that went in, including like in this last episode, we see the very of their time suits that everyone wore for the premiere and for the Oscars. And just, wow, 70s fashion is a thing to behold. But so my overall review of the series as a whole, I very much enjoyed it. I talked early on about, not completely loving Miles Teller as Albert Ruddy, but he ended up doing a really good job and kind of starts to disappear into the character. And you don't see, especially for a person like me, you don't see him as Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, and you don't see him getting a symbol or various things thrown at him by J.K. Simmons from Whiplash. You do see him as a more adult Albert Ruddy. But, we've got to talk about Matthew Good as Robert Evans is just an astonishing performance. And I was talking with my roommate Ricky about this. Like, I very much hope that the filmmakers behind this series continue the story, because the story about the production of Chinatown and Robert Evans' career from then on is really fascinating. And I think you have a fantastic actor to keep and go on in that portrayal with Matthew Good. But, Matthew Good is going to always get acclaim for a lot of his roles because he's a very good actor. But one of the people who I was very surprised, not because I didn't think that his acting skills were up to snuff by any means, but just because I, much like Miles Teller, had seen him in other things previously that I associated with him with, and that's Dan Fogler. And, Dan Fogler, for better or worse, like for people of my age, I see him and think about his characters from Balls of Fury and Take Me Home Tonight, where he's very much more comedic and slapsticky and far over the top. And he's in a much more subdued role here as Francis Ford Coppola and does a fantastic job and makes Francis very, very relatable. And he is the kind of the center point of the production crew as the director. The production side of this movie. In behind the scenes, they talked about how Al Ruddy was the one who had to go through and be the connective tissue between these three families, basically, of the production crew and the film itself, led by Francis Ford Coppola and Mario Puzo, and then the studio family with Blue Dorn and Robert Evans, and then the Mafia family, with Joe Colombo. And I very much enjoyed this series and thought it was very well done. I'm really looking forward to seeing what a lot of the people that were part of this series will do next. You know, I want to see more Matthew Good. I want to see a more serious Dan Fogler performance, because I thought he did a fantastic job here, and it was a nice change of pace for him, you know, from the comedic sidekick in the Fantastic Beasts films to now this being more serious. And of course, you know, like everyone, I am very much looking forward to the next season of Ted Lasso to see what Juno Temple does. And, you know, Miles Teller is now kind of taking off. He's just in the Top Gun Maverick movie and some other things. And so he's making a big name for himself post this project as well. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens in the future with everyone involved. And thank you, everyone, for sticking with this series. And hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed the offer. You can follow me at Knocked Out Films on all social media platforms. And thanks for listening.